A couple things. One word of warning, I think you touched on this, but being someone who's burned through a number of Reddit accounts, just to reiterate, people are very unfriendly towards anything that's overtly marketing related. Second, which is a direct question, is have you seen any of those private beta Imgur style sites actually work on Reddit? I find the Imgur, I guess,
you're right.
bandwagon fans, particularly in Reddit.
So the big issue with Reddit, with pic submission sites, is that Imgur is the only one where you don't have to submit the image itself to get the thumbnail, which encourages folks. We do have success on Reddit with it, but you're right. An image posting on Imgur will do substantially better than any of the others. It's really important that you just build up that image site's reputation by continuing to submit reposts. Over time, people are going to start to recognize it. If I told you ours, you would recognize it. I mean, it's not as big as Imgur, ImageBay hosting or something of that sort, but it would be fairly obvious. On a side note, my birthday present this year was I got my original Reddit account unbanned. So that was pretty awesome. Obviously, I can't do it.
Afterwards about how you do that.
Okay. You gotta know them. I'm sorry. There's no way around.
Who's got more questions? Surely there are more questions.
Will's got one.
So my question is, would you recommend to focus on one website of social, or to do like 50 or 20 or more target links to it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I assume you're talking about which social media site to target, or are you talking about creating your own? Which one? Okay, widespread coverage. You should be at least hitting the biggest 5 or 6, and then you should give widespread coverage. I wouldn't go so far as to say autoplay or something of that sort, because you're just really not going to get any bang for your buck out of that. But you do need wider coverage. It creates a lot of opportunities for the pay linking, because people are linking off to all of these other networks, and you just follow up behind and get links from them. That being said, really your bang for your buck is going to come out of Reddit in terms of just sheer link acquisition these days. So if you really only have time or energy to spend one, I would go to that.
You talked about using forums as the place where this kind of stuff bubbles up from. People kind of discuss submissions on Reddit, elsewhere in forums, and that's where a lot of the experts or influencers first come out, first read about stuff. What tips have you got for finding good forums? So you've got a new niche. Like, how can you find a good place to go talk about it or see?
So my favorite is boardreader.com. They syndicate. They literally do 10 million plus forum posts a day added to their database. It's really remarkable that such a large search engine exists and nobody really knows about it. Just type in a keyword and it finds it. They're working really heavily right now on filtering out their spam. So if you search for Viagra, you're going to find Viagra posts. Just a ton of that stuff. But regardless, it's a fantastic resource. In general, though, unless you're an agency and you're doing this on behalf of a client, your best bet is just to submit it to the major sites. And the first time, watch what stumbles in from your real-time analytics, and then a couple days later. And chances are you're going to find the sites that are interested in you that way. It's better to throw the spam at the wall and see what sticks than to go through all of the sites out there and trying to find the ones that are specific to you.
Russ, could you just repeat the URL of the
boardreader.com.
Thank you.
Any more questions? We've got 5 more minutes if we want.
What's the dirtiest and most black hat link building trick you've ever done?
Trying to focus on the legal ones. I think they're the obvious ones. So there's this fantastic software out there called Expert Learning, whatever you can go buy it for $600 or $700. You need a really good computer to do it because it does massive multi-threading. But that's just for just general across-the-board link spam kind of stuff. The real dirtiest stuff out there is parasitic hosting, which is essentially you're finding holes in open source software and getting your content to be out there and then submitting to it. Probably the dirtiest thing that I've ever it was a recommendation. It was not actually part of the execution of it. But imagine you have a competitor site who knows doing paid link building. And you want to bring extra attention to the domain, but in a way that's not necessarily going to be so overtly obvious with going out and just buying a bunch of foreign profile statements. So we essentially created a duplicate content penalty on their site for them by you just take a massive list of all the keywords that they have. PHP on Apache servers by default, you can add a slash after it. And so index.php / whatever keyword. It looks like a real URL, no question mark, anything of that sort. But Apache will actually say, okay, this is really the index.php file. So there's content there. Well, imagine doing that to a search page, so that when you put the keyword in there and then add the question mark keyword after it, that keyword actually gets injected on the page and content about it as well. So a site search could eventually become a very large, sprawling situation in terms of duplicate content. And on top of that, if you spam a bunch of links, then it actually looks like they're trying to create some sort of doorway pages on their site. So you've got this massive duplicate content doorway page kind of thing. So that's probably it.
That sounds like a good place to end.
Company is
Anyone else?
This video is only distributed in the UK, right?
Yeah, that's
Okay. I'm not worried about cuts.
Who's rumored to be coming? Is Matt here? Matt, hands up if you need.
He's watching the camera.
Right, I think we'll call it a day there for Russ, and we'll invite Tom. Russ, thank you very much.